Alrighty, episode 6. Here are the rules. Pause if you want to read them. Doing a Pokemon Nuzlocke for Pokemon Black. This is episode 6. Anywho, just beat the third gym, doing okay. Dratini's starting to get up there level wise. 14 more levels till it evolves. Thunderous never evolves, but he's doing great. Kavalion also doesn't evolve, but you're gonna evolve somewhere around 30 something, 32, 36, 34, something like that. Probably not keeping Masculine or CQ long term. Anyway, I should probably heal because I think I did my rival fight right around here before saving last time. Alright. Speed up game. Anywho. Had a really interesting sword ID. That's not the gym. That's the gym at the center. There was actually several ones. One from Bhutan, which was formerly part of India, and it's like a place that has more Muslims in it, and they got their independence, and they didn't want to join Pakistan, so they became their own country. Very large population, and they do this thing that, well, the Islam do this thing, too far, where, well, at least it's attributed to Islam, but like, I've seen one museum examples and a ton of like, examples from various dealers, so I don't know, like, where did the dealers get their information, but, usually it's attributed to Islam. So they'll take the scabbard, right, they'll cut out a section to put the blade, and instead of putting, like, a piece of wood over that and, like, making it into, like, a container for it, right, they'll just wrap a piece of metal around it, like with two little bands, and put the blade in. So on one side is this, a piece of wood, and the other side is like this massive hole with a little piece of metal, and you can see the sword. It's like really cool. All right. T-Wave. Chronicle is an ice type, which not great for Dratini. I think. Yeah, you are buffeted, which is not ideal. I think about doing Dragon Rage, but now I'm like worried it might kill him. Resist the ice, but it's gonna really struggle to do damage without killing. Didn't you do quick attack? Metal Claw would be too much damage, but you'd resist. Sure. Anywho. Bind. Good thing Dratini did not take that bind. Get stuck. Ice Sword is a priority move, if I remember correctly. It's maybe I'm not, but pretty sure it is. But so when you have two party moves, there are different levels of priorities, like +1, +2, all the way up to +6. Another Pokeball, I have limited time to die. Oh, he's a great ball. This thing at Sandstorm's gonna kill him pretty soon. I'm not gonna get many chances. when you have two priority moves that are the same priority, it goes based off speed, like normal. Shit. Ow, did what I could. Sandstorm sucks. Wait, do I need to heal? I think. Maybe yes, and... it's a long walk. Arrival. Yep. Alright. Hello, bug. I'm gonna resist double pick. Guess man. 60% accuracy or something stupid. What are the odds? I don't think I'm gonna be able to do much damage. Forks resist Fury Cutter. You'll die from the sandstorm before I die from that. And you're slow. Whiscass, water, ground. Ideally I'd use a grass move. I don't have any grass moves. Best I can do is Sunderous with this to the ground and hit him with a neutral attack. Because so many people are weak to ground. Thankfully, Thunderous is pretty bulky HP as special defense. If he had, like, Ice Beam, I might be trouble. Alright. Definitely flipping Thunderous out. Mandibuzz. I like the weird buzzard, right? Isn't it like a dark flying? Looks like a Bulbapedia. Right? It's like a Vulture, dark flying. Big Pegs or Overcoat. What does that even do? Defense cannot be lowered. Okay, and then Overcoat is immune to weather conditions. Alright. Weak to, I guess, special more than anything else, but you're not very weak to much. This would probably swap, just because Thunder's getting a bit low. I think Dratini has Thunderbolt. Or I stay in and use Thunderbolt, stab, higher special attack, more likely to one shot. Okay. Thankfully no, Sucker Punch. My friend can definitely one shot, but he'll be buffeted. Kawalian probably can't one shot. But yeah, whatever. A little bit of sand damage ain't that big of a deal. Who is this? Okay, waste my time. Let's have a call with this person. Oh wait, they're not here. Goodbye. Man, imagine getting in a conference call to be like talk to this person, and then that person's not even doesn't even show up. Bears. Oof. Anywho, interesting scabbard. You see it on other Assam swords, but apparently there's a couple other tribes in the area that do it, and also Tibet does, not Tibet, Taiwan does it. But they have a different type of sword that doesn't really look anything like it. The Bhutanese one is unique to Bhutan and Tibet. Straight, double-edged, single-handed grip with like a particular style of decoration. Anywho, seen a lot of them over the years. The problem is I just haven't seen lots of good, reliable sources. It's like one museum example, and everything else is from auctions. And when you're looking at auctions, you gotta know that like people putting them up for auction maybe don't know what they're talking about. You know, where are their sources? Do they tell you what their source is? If not, you know, maybe they're making it the fuck up. Why is this like this? Oh, that makes life easier. Wish I found this before I just ran back to the Poker Center to heal. Ah, shuckle. Rock bug, very good defenses, but it is weak to steel. What a coincidence, I was going to use the same move again. There are lots of shuckle jokes. It's somewhat of a meme. It's become a meme to try to beat someone's team using only shuckle. Doing like rollout strategies. You set up on them. Alright, Victory Bell. This isn't a great matchup for me. It's not a great matchup for Victory Bell. We sort of both resist a lot of each other's attacks. You don't resist Metal Claw. This is not a very high damage attack. Combustion, it's gonna swap. Genie resist fire but not fighting, and can hit it with some decent hits. Let's see what Twister does. Dragon Rays won't one shot. Okay. Alright, shot now. Oh, speed boost. Even with speed boost, you're still slow. Oof. Prism scale, okay. Ooh, Hunted. Pure water. You have Intimidate, if I remember, or at least some of them do. I think, do you have dual ability? Dual ability, okay. Does she resist have Thunderbolt? Sure. Thunderous does not resist water attacks. So. And you're level 16, I'm not super worried. Let's see, other interesting sword IDs. There's a really fancy gun toe. That was like a limited, like one-off made for some sort of event. Very fancy. Alright, Gigas. Feral can hit it pretty hard, Cabalion, and it's a Cabalion. More bulk, immune to normal. Doesn't hurt by sand. Has double kick. So slow start, you make weaker for 5 turns, and then you kick my ass. That's some of the highest stats in the game. Thankfully, you are lower level and weak to fighting. Pitch. Not routine. I'm not worried about Pidgey hurting me. And I want Dratini to get stronger already. Ivy is grass. Yeah. It's a starter, if I remember correctly. Actually, I'm not getting that. No. Sam's over. Yeah. So there's also a really interesting spear that got posted, like a cavalry lance. I did not ID this. I actually learned it. So traditionally, when you see a round ball attached to the spear, where it's like you have the head, and then all the distance past the head, you have like a round ball as part of the like one piece that's like the head and the shaft. The round ball is a way to stop over penetration when you stab somebody, which is a real problem. If you think about it, if you have like 10, 15, 20-foot lamps, right? You don't want to pen like extremely deep, otherwise it's going to be difficult to remove the spear from the person, at which point you just drop it and take out your sword, right? For the fighting type. Thunder Slud with his fighting attacks, probably the best choice. Just hope he doesn't have like rock slide. Anyway, so traditionally, something like Persian, Ottoman, Mughal, as in like India, Mughal Empire. But turns out when British captured India, they started copying that design on some of their spears, and they added langets, which is a more like European style thing. Other countries and other cultures had langets, but like Europe more often on lances. And it's British copy of a Persian design, sort of like the French Chassabot or Yatagan bayonets, so that eventually the British Yatagan bayonets, relic gold. Alright. Or the T-spine French Gras bayonet, copying the Afghan pest cabs. Very popular 19th century. We'd be like, what's the Middle East doing? The sword design. They finally were like, okay, maybe we can learn something. Maybe they're not all just savages. They're like, what's the good bits, what's the bad bits, what can we learn? Get over their racism. A little bit. Not 100%. Tutoga. Isn't that like the weird, like, grass ground turtle Pokemon? Let's see. Yes, Tutoga. No. It's the water rock turtle Pokemon. So many turtles. Okay. Thunder is super effective, but he does not like rock attacks. Ratini, probably safe. Steel would be effective. No, steel would not be effective as a water type, but fighting would be effective. I think Ratini can one shot probably. Steel. Ooh. So first time protect 100% chance. Second time is 50-50. Third time is like, is it 1 in 3 or 1 in a quarter? In a row. Each protective use lowers the chance of it working significantly, and then when you don't use it for a turn, it resets back to 100%. Anorus is rock water. I can stand in T-Bolt. I would have rock bug. Rock water or rock bug? I think maybe rock bug. Maybe water would be super effective. Oh well. T-Bolt will neutral. Dragon Ray is also neutral. Twister also neutral. Eh. Worker Gus. I'm gonna go heal real quick and then be back. Anywho, there's a site called Immerse Study, and it's made by this Japanese guy. His dad was a soldier in World War II. He died. He never met his dad. He had his dad's Gunto, and he became sort of obsessed with Guntos. And in Japan, Guntos are often not protected under law like antiques are, and a lot of them are destroyed. But a lot of them exist outside of Japan because a lot of them were confiscated during demilitarization occupation period after the war, and a lot of them were just taken home by American soldiers. So a lot of them have survived that way, and he was studied to put up a really good site explaining like all this stuff about them. Knows a shit ton about them, and who a lot of limited like one-time created Guntos. There are photos of it on his site and like nowhere else in the world. Nice job. Let's see this Pokemon. Entertaining to get an XP. Shuckle, run away. No point fighting a shuck. I don't give a shuck. Alright. Hello. Anywho, this one is not on Murr Studies page. This there's probably the only photos of it online. Some guy took it back from World War II and then traded it to one of his relatives, and now that guy died and got to the next relative. And for the first time, it's being photoed and put on the internet. Woohoo! Flints is good. That means you're possibly in Dragon Range. Yeah. Alright, just when I press the button to turn on the item finder. Okay, isotype, scary. Fighting super effective, fire resist ice. You might have some ground attacks, but there's no chance you use a ground attack. Hit him with an ice attack. Alrighty, sure. Alright. Toxic. Well, very good in stalling, like if you had like a Chansey or Skarmory or something, like more defensive. I've even not really great for me. So later gens Snubble becomes a fairy, this gen he is not a fairy. Will I raise kill? Probably not. But close. Twister and then D-Raids would have been better, because then you get a flinch chance. Don't take a hit if you flinch. But it was a possibility he couldn't kill this D-Rage. He had a lower HP stat. And his HP is based on IVs and EVs. He's wild, so 0 EVs, but the IV is between a 0 and a 31, so 32 numbers total. And the higher the number is, the closer to perfect, or like the highest possible value. So that like 2 HP live could have been a kill if it had lower EVs. Nature affects 6 attributes but not HP, which is this hidden sense. I'm not gonna fight a crime. Get this run away. Man, Anakin would hate this map. Let's see. What do you got? It is not gonna one shot. Twister will do decent damage. Might cause a flinch. No transform. Well, that means Twister is now going to do significantly more damage. If I'm faster as I am. Big level difference. Evilite. Close. So today, I finally got the ingredients I need, and I'm gonna cook. A while back, I made some homemade lasagna, and one of the two layers was a sort of like spinach cream puff layer, and I did ricotta, mozzarella, queso fresco, and spinach, and had like an immersion blender with like a little hand blender attachment I usually use for making smoothies or whatever, but it had a lot of blades on it. I just put the leaves in there and, shredded them all, mixed it up with ricotta, and then grated queso fresco, which is like a crumbling cheese, so it's like when you grate it, it turns into sort of like, what do you call it? A sandy, like, uh, not texture, but like appearance, where it's like this all falls apart. Um, Very soft texture, and it's fresh cheese, so it's kind of salty and tastes a lot and like wet and tastes a lot like sort of like a mozzarella-y. But salty and different texture. Anywho, made a sort of cheese spread similar to what you find in like spinach, like cheese puff, the pastry, and had some left over, so threw it in the freezer. And finally got the puff pastry, so I'm going to be making spinachy puff pastry. Um, and that's sort of like the side dish. And the main is I'm going to be making a roast with chicken quarters. I'm going to make like sausage meatballs, and that's going to add a lot of fat and flavor. And then do like potatoes, onions, peppers, mushrooms, carrot in there. And then add a little of olive oil to everything but the meatballs. And smoked paprika, salt, black pepper, a little soy sauce, oregano, various other spices. Mix it all up, and then put the meatballs on top, and then roast it in the oven. And that way I'll get a lot of the fat in there. I guess twist your hope for a flunch. I don't think Dragon Rays will one shot. Good. Now it will one shot. You know what? I think. Yeah. I'm happy with that. I beat him. W. Well, I resist fire. Typing ain't bad. And he has drought. Ooh. Oh, yes, Twister, hope for a flunch and Dragon Rage. Or do another Twister if I do enough damage. That could have been a high roll. And a high roll is at a low roll. He would have survived his 180. Tranquil. Isn't that like a waterfall? Might be wrong about that. What is Tranquil? No, it's the flying that turns into like unfeathered. Martini. A lot of the meat and veggie juices sort of make this little soup at the bottom, and everything gets all like toasted on top. It's great. And I make my meatballs with club-style crackers that I just put in a bag and crush with like a rolling pin, and that tastes a lot better because the crackers are a lot drier and better at absorbing the fat from the meat, so it doesn't all end up in the pan. It like stays in there, and that gives you more flavor and calories, which I'm like very skinny. I need calories. I need to get less skinny. There's a lot more than I was wrong. I want this item, and then we'll go heal. Ah. Alright. Anyway. That's a roast I've been making for years now. And this I think will be the first time adding carrots to it, just to see how that affects everything. Hope the flints. But originally, Chef John from Food Whiz has had a recipe. This is that, but slightly modified over years of making it. It was this potatoes, onion, peppers, sausage, chicken, and I had mushrooms because mushrooms are great at soaking up all the flavor from all the various things in there. And he normally would cook his sausages in like a skin, and the sausage that I'm using is homemade and it is not in the skin. And so I just turned into meatballs. Let me do. What is in here? Shalom? Hello? Okay. Pokemon. Let's see who. I mean, I guess you two could use it. Get rid of takedown. I kind of want to keep his move. I'll get Cobalion dude for now. Earthquake is better, but it's what I have. Oh, Cobalion can't, but Fernic can. Anyone else learn Cut? Can Seeking? No. Cobalion could. Could get rid of Takedown. And he's Monfernape. Yeah. I don't like Recoil. I haven't used Takedown once. And you see 90 and it's like, oh, it's a big number, but you stab. Stab is good. That's a different area, so I get a chance to catch something again. Genie is number one. HP's good. This same area, or is it not the same area? Too bad. meatball recipe. Uh, Pretty simple. But altar ball's okay. What about Bianca? Don't care. Meatball recipe, right? So, chop up some green onions. Chop up and mince some garlic. Um, Mix that with about 1.7% salt, some low sodium soy sauce, um, black pepper, and smoked paprika. And basically all of that to taste, other than the salt. This is, you put a specific amount. And if you wanted this to survive longer, you could add what's prussic powder, or preg powder, which is like a sodium nitrate. This is a preservative. I don't add it, mostly because I'm just bagging it up in counter-side bags that are then, smashed flat so they can freeze and thaw very quickly, and stacked in the freezer. And it only spends like a few days between like getting frozen and thawing out, and then you cook it. So it's not like more traditional preserved meats where, some sausages might be preserved for months or years. I like Thunderous, maybe. If I do that, then swap in. Really? Really? Um, oh, pencil. Wait, did I get the news there in? I have not. This is a new one. Alright. Routine. This is a new route. It's distracted by the humans. I thought we were going to be a double battle. Why would they be persistent? Okay. Bind and sand. Very annoying. I don't think Pencil gets guts. Alright. I would like to switch out. Oh, sort of. I'm going to twister him. Hope for this once. Whatever. I want to swap out Dratini as soon as the bind goes away. In the meantime, I'd like you to replace Sea King and yes, Earn Cut. So bug type, typing wise, not amazing. How are we going? Okay, some of this is in front. Any items here? Toilet resort. That's a pincer. Guess he's common here. So, Route 4 and Desert Resort. That's what it's called. Let's see. Wait, did I pass it? I passed it. I passed the little healing hut. for the meat, I'll just use a pork butt and debone it and then chop it all up. Sometimes trim the meat, sometimes not, depending on how much fat there is, and of course, no bone. Pork butts are generally about 30 to 40% fat. 30% fat is perfect sausage. 40% is a bit high for what I'm making. I also go lower on the salt percentage because I'm adding soy sauce, which also has salt in it. Otherwise, I do like at least 1.8, maybe even 1.9. This is the next city. Where is this? Oh, yay, Team Plasma. Hello, stranger. Man, I've been here all of 2 seconds and I'm forced to fight these guys. Is this city that pathetic where they're like forcing random passerbys to defend them? Seismitoad. Okay, well, water ground, you can't really do much. Well, is it water ground? I think it is. I thought it was like poison ground or poison water. eh, I don't remember. I don't. Fence. No fence. Okay, yes fence. Yay. Woo! Get your teeny. Yeah, only one of them bothers to fight me. Daycare man. Okay. Where? Okay, that looks like some sort of gym or focus center. It's weird I'm getting Ultra Balls and we're not, and this is like the fourth city. They have a City World 4th gym. These ATMs. Okay, return. Return's decent. But I need to have max happiness. Gyro Ball is also decent. Isn't it like doing damage based off of weight? What is it, that one? Nope. Okay, return. Where's Gyro Ball? Yeah, slow the user's greater damage. What is this? Some of those things are like training for competitive. What is this? Hello, random user. I find a random person, they're like, get in the Ferris wheel. Okay. Who are you? I'm a kid. Allegedly. Just show up and are like, get in the Ferris wheel. Kinda weird. Like those textures going into the ground. Okay. So you are in charge of plasma, my lord. Okay. Oh no. Cubone. Flint strands. Upworm. Not gonna want to hit. Now it's one hit. What do you got? Cub Chew? Oh! Yeah, the ice thing. The like little ice bear that turns into like the Arctic bear. What is it called? Bear Arctic? I guess. Staples out easy. Staples. Prom. But Trini doesn't care about intimidate. What's this one thing I don't have? Okay. That's gonna one shot. Nope, almost. What are the odds? You can't hit me. You can't see me. It's John Cena. Do 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 do. Alright, Ponyta. Let's see. Monfernape resists and has dig with super effective. In a hole. Casey hit a quick attack. Yeah, what? You're too low level. I didn't change the evolve. Let's see. Dratini. Level 30, huh? That's new, isn't it? I thought it used to be level 40. Whatever. Muscle band. Normal. What's with this game and clowns? Alright, that's the gym. Alright. Here, let's probably go check out that new ruins. Normally when new ruins are found, it involves some digging. And I'm guessing these ruins, like all the Pokemon ruins, are going to be above ground. Or at least like visible above ground. Where it's like, this does not make sense. But you know what? A, I'll swap Seeking out for Pinsir. B, I'll take a look at Dragonair. Did I hit move? Okay, move. nature. Hypercutter, no longer attack. Does have decent attack. Makes sense to hide stat. Seismic toss could be useful. Thinking I should probably teach you cuts if I can get rid of it on Kabalion. Not a huge fan of Pincer. Just cause like, mistyping isn't amazing. It's this is pure bug. Base death not amazing. Still shed skin. Its attack is now a bit more significantly ahead of the special attack. Speed's still great. Highest stat. Which makes sense because it's plus speed nature. Look forward to Dragonite. Would it be wise? Who needs to get XP the most? And in case you end up getting used, because I'm leaving his up here. Might be interesting who checks out the town first, if there's any bad knowledge about shiny Pokemon. I found one in my last nuzlocke. Shiny Lucario. So many thousands of hours in Pokemon MMO, I only got the Gluten. Shiny Gluten. Do a Nuzlocke first hour, get a Lucario. Actually, might get rid of Cut and the neutral attack. And if I need to, I can give it to Pencil too. Probably better than Bind. But I do like Bind in that it's fairly weak. Good at doing small amounts of damage. Kept something. So I don't have a whole lot of options. Das. Why so many scripted? Hey, come here a minute. Okay, a seater, you say? Dress up. Sure. Why? You know what? A hat and a snake. Sounds funny. What do you do with... You have no hats. What the fuck is that? Meh. Okay. Sure. I know what I want to do. you stupid family drama. Let's be honest. C is a child. C is traveling by herself across multiple cities without coming home for many days. C is too young. He is not being overprotective. So it is. I thought I went over here. Oh, the sporting events in a Pokemon game. I don't get it. Wait. Can I get over there? Nope. Anyway. Swinub. Damn it, could have got a crocodile, should have pincer. Oh well. Alright. Well, after this is the gym. Do you heal me? Yes, you do. Ooh, ooh la la. Okay. What are you, Steel Rock? This Steel Rock. I do not have. I guess. Or are you Steel Ground? I think Steel Rock. Well, oh, easy. Staples. Easy button. Which, if you haven't seen the ads, doesn't really make sense. But, ooh, a Shaman. Shaman's Evilite and, like, Encore and shit can be, like, a really good setup Pokemon. Let's go. Maybe it's the same as Evolved Form. Shaman. Yeah, There's like land and sky form. I think it was land form that was more useful. What I used to set it up with? I don't remember. I think back in like the Gen 6 days, we used to have like a baton pass build with it, and it like set up. Can't remember. A tailwind baton pass. Didn't have like encore. Play had encore. I'm apparently not doing so well. Getting distracted trying to remember this. You're a pure grass, so Clawing resists, Thunderous resists, Dragonair resists. What are you doing to him, Shaman? Magical Leaf. You have your legendary. You have good stats. Kill him with fire. Woohoo! That was a tough one. All for a berry. Is it? Are you event Pokemon or are you statues? Are you all statues? The barrel. Water normal. I think you evolved into Bidoof. Was Bidoof the lower evolved form? I don't know. Ah, suck. Man, Sock and Throw would have been amazing. Evolving them. Getting like one of the best fighting types of this generation. Fire type really doesn't help much for survivability. Repeat ball. Thunderstone. Got 2 entrances. Nande. Waterstone. Who are you? Let's see. Mylene. And abilities. No sucker punch. No sucker punch. No sucker punch. Yes, good, good. Hello? Dude, that's a flail. Like rope with a Pokeball at the end? That is a flail. Pokeballs have been established to be metal. That would hurt. Potentially lethally. I bet you could kill someone with that really easily. Like slings, right? You have essentially a bit of rope with a pouch for a rock and you sling it around and you throw the rock and people die. right? Uh, that's essentially a sling, is this longer rope, and the ball's metal on a rock. Which they did have metal balls for slings too. For its fire attack, let's go. I feel like fire Pokemons would resist like hail because they heat themselves up. Make it turn to water, rain, and then steam. So many castle crowns. Can I get back to the healing guy now? Badoo. I'm just running. Relic Hopper. What do you got? Glaceon. That sucks. Pure Ice. Decent HP. Decent stats. Kawalian does resist ice and is fighting. Unless you use because you have higher defensive stats. And you resist sand. Ugh, normal type, easy peasy. The whole thing is Dizzy Punch, which I resist, and you can't land without being knocked out. So, easy. I'm really tired, so I think I'm gonna heal and end this episode. It's like middle of the night. It's been over an hour. To be continued. Go sub to Milk. See ya.